And we are live after
Hello.
another and we are live after another horrendous weekend in the life of an Arsenal fan. And you can see from my face and the hangover that's visible, clearly visible, because we haven't had 3 points in a long time. I think the last time we had 3 points was the 6th of October when we just escaped Bournemouth at home. And
Yes.
to everyone's concern, it's becoming a pattern now, and it's becoming a total meltdown that teams come to Emirates and dominate the Arsenal, and
Mm.
the with too much of tinkering. But we have so much to talk, and please welcome Shardul on this show.
Hello.
The Shardul Rajwade, who's joined us to vent out
Hello.
whatever he has, and we've been doing this on WhatsApp a lot, so
Yes.
so we decided let's do it on a video, and the title, as you can see, is what's going on at Arsenal FC. Emery, the
Mm.
board and the fans. Obviously, the fans at the end because they are helpless. But let's start with the game yesterday. Yesterday's
Okay.
game
Yeah.
and yesterday's game, and let's take our viewers through the game. It's the same
Okay.
pattern. Southampton dominating us, 22
Mm.
shots throughout the game.
Mm.
So poor defensively and so clueless offensively at times. What's going on?
Hi, Prasad. I really okay. So let's talking particular about the game yesterday. I thought after seeing the lineup that okay, we have Ozil, we have Tierney, we have Bellerin, we have Chambers at RCB where he used to play right back, but we all wanted him to play more centrally. So for me, okay, so I really don't like the formation of three at the back. I really hate it. But yesterday I was quite okay with the formation because we had those players in the attack who could go and score goals for us, who could win 4-0 final. I really expected us to win final because Leicester had beaten Southampton just 2 weeks ago,
9-0.
9-0.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
really expected us to just after this international break, after all these backstage drama, all the whatever was going on in the club, I thought this will put an end to it, this match, and we'll be going forward from here. But
And this being a
just
home game, yeah, yeah, and
yeah,
this being a home game.
exactly. So I thought the fans will back the players. The players will be up for it. The manager will redeem himself. Nothing worked, dude. Nothing worked. Literally from minute 1 to minute 90th, I was just there were lapses, there were phases in the first half where Ozil had the ball in the center and he played out wide, and then we had chances. That was the only time where I enjoyed watching us play. Otherwise, it was just boring.
Hmm.
I
And
really don't know.
and
Yeah.
the and even though we were not up to the mark as we have been in the past few matches, I think the ref was
Mm,
making too many blunders last night, allowing the quick free kicks
definitely.
with
Yes, yes.
Southampton. The VAR was dubious. I mean, that was an offside first of all, supposed to be a penalty.
Uh,
But then I think we have been our masters of our own downfall, not
yeah,
taking
yeah, yes.
chances and not scoring goals. But
So,
let's talk about Emery and let's talk about the
mhm,
tinkering patterns. I mean, three four
mhm.
three 4-3-3, 3-4-2-1.
4 2
Torreira is
3 1.
attacking. Yeah, attacking. Torreira is attacking
Yeah,
midfield.
yeah.
You want to start Ozil, Oba, Laka, but you don't want to leave Pepe on the bench.
Pepe out.
So
Yeah.
it's like you're putting together a jigsaw puzzle with one piece missing in it always, isn't it?
Yes. It actually has been the case since I think when he started playing Ozil, which is I think a month back. We all wanted Ozil, Oba, Laka, and Pepe to start, but that we haven't able to see that. I really don't know why because I think in training also it must be obvious that Pepe and Oba give you depth in the attack and Ozil can feed them. I don't know
Yeah.
what happens to Emery during like when he has to put out the formation and the lineup for the match. Like, does he think about the same formation which he's gonna put in the match 2 3 days prior to the match, or does he just uh, under pressure? Does he just come under pressure and think about it just before the match? I really have no clue
Hmm.
about this guy.
Hmm.
So, and talking about Torreira, we all see in his even in his international games where he plays, he sits deep,
Yeah.
just in front of the defense, and he's literally like a policeman. He just doesn't allow anyone to go past him. And the way
Correct.
we used to, the way we have seen Coquelin in 2014-15 season, at the
Yep.
start where he was in form.
Yep.
Torreira literally plays like that for his country. And he's just the same player when he comes back to London. As in, I don't know what goes different in that process. We can just play him there and he'll produce the exact same results what he produces for his country. I don't know why, but I can name you 10 people who can do a better job than Emery right now. I don't know what our board is waiting for. I'm really sorry for my rant over here, but I really don't want this guy in my club right now. It's
And
just
to yeah, and to think that Chelsea are on 26 and we are like 8 points.
70, 18 we are.
Yeah, 18 because
Yeah,
they yeah, and we drew last night, and even a
yeah.
draw seems a loss. It's been seeming like a loss. Let's take games from the previous international break. Sheffield away
Okay.
lost.
Yes.
You have Crystal Palace at home. You have Wolves at home, where you want to establish a lead and then you throw
Blew
it
it away.
away.
Hmm.
And Crystal Palace was also some sort of dubious VAR calls and stuff. But overall, if you look at the pattern, it's been the same since the start. There's
Hmm.
been too much tinkering in the lineup. I mean, I think he's too scared too scared with the defense he puts out. He tries to sort the
Yes.
defense and then he compromises on the attack, and
Yes.
the midfield is non-existent. So, Brendan Rodgers, if you see at Leicester, has established a team 4-1, and
Hmm.
they're playing it week in week out together. They know their moves, they know their stuff,
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
and you can see that on the table because they are second
Hmm.
right now. And
Hmm.
I don't know the last time they lost. I think the last time they lost was Liverpool away, and that too in the.
Okay, yeah, probably.
So Unai Emery,
Hmm.
Unai, don't know about his language, but he definitely has a problem. And he commented last night saying that I still need to work. I mean,
Yes.
you have 2 weeks to prepare for a team who is lying 19th in the table. How do you make such kind of comments? Isn't that enough for the board to see that this man is not the right man for the job?
Actually, let me take you back a few sentences there. You don't need to prepare for a team who's sitting 19th on the table. Like literally, you just go out, attack, and you just get 4 goals and get done with it. And
Hmm.
talking about the board should have made the decision after the I think Sheffield
Leicester.
loss. No, no, no. I'll take you more. No, no.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Because
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was even at that time it was very evident that this guy is not gonna take us any step further.
Yeah.
So I know it is very easy for us to sit here in Mumbai and blather
Correct.
about this, and I know
Geographically entitled fans. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I know that those ones who are actually gonna take calls over there they have to analyze everything and they just can't take a decision. And I completely agree with that. But right now the time is really getting away from us. Right now it is not the time where you have to sit and analyze thing. You have to just see. You should see the table. You are seventh and just get this manager out. And I know that we don't have any a better replacement. I know Pochettino is available, but now that's another story where we don't know
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
he'll be
Yeah.
willing to accept the Arsenal job. But I think Freddie Lundberg will do a good job. He
I
can
think
at
yeah
least
that
be an interim. Yeah,
yeah the a guy who's won the crest played for the badge,
exactly,
and
exactly, exactly,
the one who's brought in so many young players, and
exactly.
it will kind of be a lift to
Yes,
everyone,
for our
and
players. Yeah, definitely.
and it will, I think, probably put the negativity to end for some because people will be willing to back him.
Yes,
It, but that's a
and
different story. And yeah, yeah.
more importantly, he has played under Arsene Wenger.
Mm.
For me, it is a point to be noted because Wenger has, as you know, he has shaped so many players' lives. Okay, he
Yep.
has given them directions, he has shown them wisdom, and he has just brought in a legacy to the club. And Lundberg has been a part of it. He has been part of the Invincibles. He knows what it is to win. He has that winning mentality. Okay, so I would really like to see him instill that in our players. And our players are ready for a fight. We have players like Genduzi, Torreira, Martinelli, some young
Yep.
guys who are actually willing to take a step further in their life, in their
Yeah.
career.
Yeah,
I really
Joe Willock as well, and
Joe
I think,
Willock, yes.
and I think all the negativity surrounding the club,
Mm,
Emery has set up the team.
yes.
He's been setting up these people to fail. Is what it's clear,
Seriously.
and that has
Yes.
actually reduced. That has actually thrashed their confidence, I should say, because you don't
Mm-hmm.
Niles or a Willock or a Saka, because Saka was good when he came on, and then in the late you can see
Yeah.
in the later stages he's fizzed out. So
Yes. Yes.
Unai Emery says he needs more time to prepare, but
Hmm.
then let's talk about the board, and let's
Hmm.
Rahul and
Hmm.
Vinay and Edu who are going to take the
Hmm.
call. 6 million, they say, to sack Emery. 6 million to sack Emery. If we get into the Champions League, mind you, we get 40. If
40 million. Yes.
if you do the math, even if you catch around 10 million to Emery and his staff,
Hmm. Hmm.
tell me what suits better: 30 million and Champions League, or 10 million, or just keeping this guy and missing out on Champions League, because you never know what happens in the Europa. And considering our
Yeah.
luck, some big shot team might fall back
Yeah.
in Europa and meet us in the final. So you are never sure.
So that's what happened last season, didn't it? We were
Yeah.
sailing through in Europa. We really thought that okay, next season we'll be in Champions League. Everything will be rainbows and unicorns. But then Chelsea came and just out of nowhere, and the final was devastating. Man. It was literally like an Emery game, Unai Emery game. The final was bad. He just shown his actual worth in our final. We were actually playing well till the final, but then in final he just shown what I'm gonna do next season over here. And to be very very honest, I know I probably many of the guys in AMSC or many of Arsenal fans wouldn't agree with me over here, but he should have been sacked at the end of the last season.
Hmm.
Actually, if you
Hmm.
take me back, because then imagine having a new manager with
At the
these
start,
players
yeah. Yeah.
from the start. Right now, I'm definitely sure we would be, if not top four, we would be at least minimum 1 point of top four. We would be there.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
very sure because this guy is not at all progressive. He is just, I don't know.
Uh,
I really have a lot to
you know,
talk
I,
more about
I
him, but yeah.
I have a perfect analogy here, and we had a manager who went all out, and now
Mm-hmm.
we have a manager who's scared to go all out. So we are at two
Mm-hmm.
extremes, by the way. I mean, adjusting to an opponent is good, but too much of tinkering
Yes. Too much.
confuses the players. And I think players have been set up to fail, with the likes of Xhaka, with the likes of
Mm-hmm.
Pereira, with the likes of Willock, Saka. I think they've been set up to fail. If you look at if you talk to the people who go for live matches, they'll tell you
Mm-hmm.
that the line with the lineup and with the way people are playing. I think we our midfield is non-existent in the past
Yes.
few games. I mean, that is a
Yes.
big
Yes.
concern. And you could see Ozil drop so deep yesterday. He should be in that attacking third and not
He
so
was
deep.
playing like a centre back in the 19th minute, if I'm
Last,
not wrong. He was
yep,
playing
yep,
near the keeper.
yep.
Don't know what
So,
was
so
that.
we,
So, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was talking. So let's have your thoughts on a few players now from
Okay.
yesterday, and let's start with I don't know if you want to start with Socrates. Let's start with Socrates
Okay.
first. And
Oh.
should he be starting regularly, or should
No, no.
not at all?
Definitely not. Not at all. So he's a bang average defender.
Hmm.
Okay, he is, and first of all, leaving aside the game, he just wants to get into the theatrics, and he just wants to entertain people. It's like that. He just keeps falling. He takes other people down with him. Just gets the referee's attention again and again. I don't know what goes on his mind. Like yesterday, for one example, he had two players, and he still couldn't clear the ball, and we almost considered the goal. If you remember what I'm talking about in the
Yep.
second half,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. And we were so
that
bad. Yeah. Yeah.
no exactly. So Socrates is not a good enough defender for Arsenal. I'm very sure. Okay, right now Holding is also not in his form. But I'm
Hmm.
very sure Chambers and Holding will do a much better job as a defensive
Hmm.
pair than David Luiz and Socrates.
Hmm.
Mind you, David Luiz is also not a great defender, but he's at least better than Socrates. He can still be in that lineup, but
Yeah.
I don't want Socrates in the lineup anymore. He's not defending. He's not getting anything out of it. He's not doing anything.
And getting silly yellow cards, by the way. Uh,
Exactly, game by game, every game he's doing that,
Silly
and that
yellow
is
cards.
not. Yes,
Also, Kiran Tierney is the only hope, that shining light towards the end of the
yep,
tunnel. Okay.
yes.
That the left side was pretty deep, more
Mm-hmm.
than decent last night. I mean, Hector Bellerin's
Mm-hmm.
been through a lengthy injury. You can understand why
Mm-hmm.
he's in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
form that
yeah.
he is in. But some of the fans thought that Tierney and Bellerin coming back in with Holding would change the complexion. But it's
Hmm.
clearly down to the coaching, isn't it? The coaching is clearly visible. There's no coaching at all, I think. The only attacking thing that Emery might have instilled is you win the ball high up the pitch, and that's it. I can't see any more link.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, talking about the inclusion of Holding, Tierney, and Bellerin in the squad, I also was one of those fans who were really excited with their inclusion. But I knew that if the formation isn't right, if the setup isn't right, even these three players won't be able to do anything. So
Mm.
imagine a formation 4-2-3-1, where Holding and Chambers are your centre backs. You have Bellerin on the
Mm.
right back, you have Tierney on the left back, and
Mm.
Torreira and Genduzi, or if Shaka is in form, Shaka and Torreira. I know
Yeah.
I won't I myself wouldn't play Genduzi every game, so
Yeah.
I'll keep shifting between Genduzi and Shaka, but I want Torreira
Yeah.
there to protect my defense. And then
Correct.
ahead we have Ozil, Pepe, Martinelli or Lacazette, and striker we have Aubameyang. Just imagine this team.
Yeah.
It is a perfectly attacking setup along with a good defense.
Mm.
I don't know what's so hard. I don't know what rocket science Emery thinks there is to put this
So we had
formation out. He,
so yeah. So all this time we had Ozil fit. He was off the team, and we were playing a team of three attackers with absolutely no number 10. Now that
no,
the number 10 is playing consistently, we have Una Emery who's omitting Pepe, and
yes,
the way he's setting up, I think every game is a final right now. Every game is a big game.
yeah, yeah,
You can't expect. I mean, at least in the Wenger era, you could expect a big win at home, at least a win at home,
yeah, yes.
if not a win at home and a convincing win at home. A convincing.
Hmm.
I sort of think that we are Granit Xhaka, and I'm ready to take all the blame because the man clearly, is the transition between attack. From
Hmm.
attack. Yeah, his fouls, his the way he gives away the ball that leads to direct goals. But then
Yes.
this season, I think he's set up to fail, and that's clearly visible. If you play 4-3-3 and your last man is Xhaka, then I don't know what you're doing with your coaching right there. You cannot
Yes.
have
Exactly.
as the last man in midfield, deep lying man in midfield, and get taking all the pressure because the guy current clearly cracks under pressure. But
Yeah.
and that's so concerning right now because you've got 18 months, you've with 18 months in the job, and you're still not sure about your starting 11 provided the injuries were a reason. And
Hmm.
I think Lacazette might have saved his job for a week at least with that equalizer. And the refereeing decisions were bad. I think he can get through these excuses for at least, but it's frustrating. And we have Jackin joining us here for
Okay.
yeah. So Jackin is here, who is also another frustrated gooner who missed the game last night. If you missed the game last night,
I
Shaduls, I
missed the
think
first half last
charge.
night. Yeah, I missed the
Yeah.
first half last night. I was late to my to a wedding.
So, Jackin, have you managed to catch up on the game, or did you just say, "Let it be"? I can. It's better to do something else than to watch the highlights and get disappointed again.
To be very honest, I wanted to see the game, but I realized it will make me more frustrated. Instead of watching the game, I was just looking at the comments and all the tweets that we had about the game. And to be very honest, it's been frustrating not just for the last match, for the last 2-3 weeks. The frustration that has been building up for all Arsenal fans has been just too much.
So, after the international break against a 19th place side, and at home, by the way, home looks away now, and away looks more away under Emery. Home looks like an away turf, and away looks more away. Um, do you think this might change in the coming weeks, or there needs to be a change at the man who's in charge for these roles,
Yeah.
like the
So
manager?
to be very honest, at the start of the season, I was supporting Emery. I didn't want to be
Hmm.
I didn't want Arsenal to become another hire and fire club. So I was saying, let's give him time. But I've realized in the last 3-4 weeks, it's just not happening, right? Even
Hmm.
if you see the comments after the game, what Emery
Hmm.
said, very naive comments like we played three at the back, we were good defensively, we played four, we were good attackingly. I mean, this is too
Hmm.
naive, right? Even a basic coach can do this. It's right. I
Hmm.
mean, three at the back. He says we are okay, we are able to defend, but we are not able to attack. We play four at the back. He says we are able to attack. We are not able to defend. I mean, you have been a coach for almost 1.5 years now. You should figure this out, right? Saying how we
Yeah,
can
it,
attack and defend properly. So
which
yeah,
is yeah.
to answer your question, no, I don't think Emery is the man for us right now. For a club like Arsenal, is just too mediocre as of now.
Hmm. I think he was supposed to already be a transition manager, and like Shardul pointed out, if he didn't win that Europa, he should have gone long back. If he didn't take you into the Champions League, he's gone. But then the board made some amazing signings, and they kind of restored faith. There was a buzz around the club that you have the likes of Nicolas Pepe coming in, and you have Kieran Tierney. All these big signings coming in. Martinelli was a steal for 7 million. But now that you have so many players at your disposal, there's one more question I'd like to ask each of you. Do you see these big players leave the club if these things continue and we don't make it to the Champions League next season?
Honestly, Pepe, I think, has played Champions League, if I'm not wrong. Last season he played. So these players, Tierney has played Champions League. These players know what it is to play in Champions League and then suddenly demote to Europa. So I can definitely see Pepe and Tierney at least handing in a transfer request if we don't make it to the Champions League. I know it's been only a season, but given the condition of our club, if Emery is still the manager next season, then these players will definitely leave, and I won't be even surprised.
Jakin, Aubameyang is stalling the contract last season, and there are rumors that he is waiting for Madrid or either Barcelona to come knocking. And by mind you, it's been the story over these years. You have a striker, you don't have a player behind him. Now you have a number 10, you don't have a striker. Clearly, what on? Do you see Aubameyang on his way out with the things? Because his comments are, "I don't know what's happening, but we have to fight."
Yeah. So again, if to very practical, right? If I was Aubameyang and I would have, if I was in situation, I would have left already, right?
Mm.
The kind of football that we are playing, it's not attacking football. It's not a football that people like to watch. We are not playing in Champions League for past 2 years. Aubameyang came to a club from Dortmund 2 years, hoping that he's going to a better club. I don't think we are anyways anyhow better than Dortmund now, right?
No way.
So yeah, no way we are better. Yeah, Aubameyang on if Emery is the manager and if we are still not in the top four, I think Aubameyang will leave, and not just Aubameyang. I think the whole list of our top players will leave. Even Lacazette might leave. Ozil is even halfway out of the club already, right? If Emery is the manager, he's not
Hmm.
even playing him, not allowing him to play. I mean, stupid things like he's asking Ozil to defend and Torreira to attack. I mean, play as a defensive midfielder, allow him to defend. I mean, what is this happening? So I see a lot of players. Even Torreira's agent has come out and said that we have offers. He wants to leave. Already wanted to go to Napoli.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
all our
Napoli
good
need that
players
kind
might
of a
leave.
player. By the way, if like if you follow Syria, if I've been following Napoli and Syria, Napoli need that kind of a player who has some bite in the midfield
Yes,
because
yes,
currently are very short there.
yes, yes.
They have players, but a natural player like Torreira would really reinforce them. But one question here, Shardul, I think Jose Mourinho is now at Spurs, which makes it
Hmm.
double hit combo there. And that guy is a fan of Ozil. He's already said that he
Hmm.
and Ibrahimovic might go to Milan, but you never know what happens with Jose. Do you see? By the way, I've commented very strongly last time that when Ramsey left, he was the last person who cared. Who cared?
Hmm.
eh,
For the club,
Sort of,
yes.
yeah. So the players don't know what it is right now. I think that's one of the things. Do you see any of these players going to play under Jose in the future, especially Ozil?
So Ozil actually has a good history with Mourinho.
Hmm.
He has been playing with him since he played with him in Madrid, and they really played very well. They won the league. They almost won the Champions League. They came twice in semi-finals and everything. And he knows Mourinho trusts him, uh, to his score, and he knows Mourinho will let him play in a free role and let him do whatever he does best and everything. So, but again, Ozil has been in our club since 6 years,
Hmm.
and he now knows that what it is to have that rivalry against Tottenham.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I really hope Ozil wouldn't go to Spurs, But again, since it's Mourinho, you never know. Mourinho may, right now as we speak, Mourinho may have contacted Ozil and things would have.
Yeah.
So
but
yeah,
let's
that
get
that
this.
two sides to the story. Yeah.
Yeah, but let's get
I
this
don't
straight
think Ozil
now.
might leave.
Yeah, but let's get
Sorry.
this straight now. Yeah, let's get this straight. One thing, um, not no wins since 6th December. That Bournemouth game, which we were
6th
clearly,
October, you mean?
yeah, 6th October. Since 6th October, and where do you see us finish with Emery as the manager now? Now that the board won't sack him, or if because I think last night's game you saw the equalizer.
Yes.
There was no reaction there. Even Lacazette was like, okay, why do I have to celebrate this? It's just like I have saved the manager's job here, scoring that. I might have not scored that, but how long do you see this man at the helm? I mean, it's already worse, 8 points off top four, and it's going to get more worse because we have a crazy December coming up ahead of us.
Yes. We have Man City and Chelsea. If I'm not wrong, right? Like,
Yep, yep.
yeah. So
And United
if
and United in the new year.
okay, so if Emery is the manager, let alone end of the season, even if he's the manager till January, we are not getting in top eight, and that might be a good thing in disguise, because if next season we don't make it to Europa, we'll be free from the added matches, and the new manager may come in and he just can focus on EPL and get things right again. But then again, that will be a very risky job, because we might see a good number of players leave our club at the end of the season if we don't get Champions League. So right
Okay,
now is
when
the perfect time to act. Just get this man out, get Freddie in, regroup, and start again. We still have time to get into that top four.
let's
Yeah, we
end
do
this.
have time.
Yeah, and one question for both of you, starting with Jackin, and let's look at the fixtures before Man City come to visit Emirates in mid-December in the league. And you have Norwich away next, which is next Sunday. You have Brighton in the midweek.
Yeah.
Then it's a Friday night game, by the way. It's a Friday night game.
Okay.
You have West Ham away. So you have two away games and a
Hmm.
home game against Brighton. You have 9 points at at the taking. How many do you expect we will win out of those 9 points?
Uh, I think even as a manager, Emery might not be targeting more than five. Right away, he's not even
Seriously,
planning to win.
yeah.
He's just trying to draw away matches. The way the formations are, the way the starting lineup is. I don't think when Emery is planning for more than five, I doubt even we will get that the kind of football that we are playing. Uh,
Hmm.
Max 4 points, 5 points. Max should be a five that we might get considering current form. I
Hmm.
don't think we are missing more
Shardul,
than that. And
Shardul,
I
let me.
doubt if even
Yeah.
Emery will be there till the third match, right? We have been seeing all these comments. I know the board is supporting him from outside, but Arsenal chairman is planning to resign now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chief Kelleher
yeah,
has said that he wants to
Yes.
yeah,
resign.
yeah.
All the fans are against him. I don't see him lasting all these three matches.
Hmm. Yes, Shardul. One final prediction: 9 points at the helm.
Not more than three. We'll
Three,
probably
three draw.
draw. Yeah. No, I'm because I've stopped being even 2% positive. Like, I think you guys know how negative sometimes I get in our group during when we talk. But that's just out of the heart. I know what's wrong with our club, and I know what's gonna happen. I knew Emery is not the man for the job since the start of the season, and now he's proving me right. So I really don't think he's gonna last after. As Jackin said, he won't last after these three matches, and I don't think more than 3 or 4 points is what we should expect.
All
So
right.
yeah,
So
yeah,
all right. So a very, I think Sunday starting off with a lot of venting out. You can see my face. I think I haven't slept properly, and I think sleep deprived, personal life fucked up, weekend fucked up. That's what's going on in the life of an Arsenal fan currently, and it's becoming more toxic. It's becoming poisonous. I think it's better to kind of not watch the game then, but we all know it won't happen because
yes,
even if we think about not watching the game, our eyes will always be on foot mob, and
yeah,
we'll be checking the scores more often. So thank you guys for joining on the
yes,
show today, and we should be doing more of this once Emery is gone as well, because I've named the episode as "What's Going On at Arsenal," and it's part two because we already did part one post the last time, the Crystal Palace game. So check out that video as well, and do share the link to this video. Thank you so much for your valuable time. Have a great
Thank you.
Sunday, by the way. Have a great Sunday.
Yes,
Don't
you
think,
all too.
try not to
Yeah.
think about
Let's hope Sheffield beats United.
yeah.
Yeah. That's the
Yeah,
only
lunch.
positive for today.
Okay, so here's your host Prasad signing out with Shardul and Jackin on this episode of the Pan and Kapi podcast.
Thanks, guys. See you.
Bye.